Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news all right. Falcons fans, buckle up because the NFL rumor mill just dropped a bomb that could reshape our division, and honestly, the entire NFC landscape. Word is swirling that the Los Angeles Chargers are quietly exploring a blockbuster trade involving Derwin James, the versatile and elite safety, who has been one of the best all-around defenders in the league when healthy. And believe me, this isn't just some idle speculation. It's coming from pretty solid sources and has the potential to turn our offseason upside down. So what's the scoop? Well, apparently the Chargers are open to trading Derwin James, and the Atlanta Falcons are very much in the mix. The buzz is that Los Angeles is eyeing a first-round pick in 2026, a significant asset for a team in rebuild mode, especially with a 4-10 record in 2025. The Chargers are in a tricky spot right now. After the disappointment of Justin Herbert's season not hitting expectations and the secondary leaking points, allowing around 29 points per game, they're looking to reset and rebuild with an eye on the future. Their focus seems to be on bolstering the offensive line, especially with their cap space of roughly $18 million, which makes parting with a star like James more feasible. Now, let's talk about why this makes so much sense for the Falcons. Our secondary has been a bit of a shaky point all season, especially after Kyle Pitts went down with that knee injury late in December. Our defense has struggled to contain some of the league's top quarterbacks and receivers, and we've been seeking that game-changing playmaker who can do more than just cover. Derwin James, with his all-world ability to play multiple roles in the secondary and in the box, is exactly that kind of player. He's what you'd call a true hybrid safety, a guy who can cover deep, come up and run support, blitz the quarterback, and make plays all over the field. Adam Schefter mentioned that the buzz has been heating up in Week 16, and it's not hard to see why. James, at just 27, is a consummate playmaker and a proven star, with a resume that makes him one of the league's most valuable defenders when healthy. And it's worth noting that his injury history isn't minor. He missed a couple of games this season with an ankle injury, and he had a foot injury that kept him out the entire 2022 season. But when he's on the field, he's a difference maker. Let's break down some of his recent stats to give you a clearer picture. In 2025, James has already snagged 7 interceptions in 14 games, which is outstanding for a safety. He's also racked up 118 tackles, 16 pass deflections, and earned a stellar 86. 8 PFF coverage grade, placing him among the top 6 safeties in the league. His ability to generate pressure is remarkable, 9 sacks this season, mostly coming from blitzes, and he's allowed just 1 yards of separation per target, which puts him in the top 4 in the league via next-gen stats. His QBR allowed is around 71. 2, which is quite respectable considering the level of quarterbacks he's faced. Throughout his career, James has amassed 22 interceptions, over 500 tackles, and nearly 50 pass deflections. His presence on the field is akin to what we saw with Cam Chancellor at his peak, a true game wrecker who can change the course of a game in a flash. His ability to cover routes with an average of just 5 yards per target makes him a nightmare for opposing offenses. His impact on a defense's turnover rate is substantial, boosting it by around 14%. That's huge for us, especially considering how much our secondary has struggled to generate turnovers this year. Now, why would the Chargers be willing to let go of someone like James? Well, their current record is 4-10, and they're clearly in a rebuild. They're prioritizing picks to help rebuild their offense, especially at wide receiver, and the cap space of $18 million offers some flexibility. It's worth noting that Diana Rossini pointed out the injury history as a factor in trade talks, which makes sense. Teams tend to weigh health concerns heavily, especially with a player of James's caliber. But if he's healthy, he's a top-tier safety who can anchor a defense for years to come. For us, at Atlanta, adding Derwin James would be a game-changer. Pairing him with Jesse Bates would create one of the most dynamic, versatile safety tandems in the league. Think about it. James's ability to roam, blitz, and cover deep would allow the Falcons to dial up more complex blitz packages, increasing our sack numbers and disrupting opposing offenses. Our secondary, which has given up an average of 248 passing yards per game, would see a significant upgrade. James's presence could bring that down to sub 200 yards per game, and his knack for causing turnovers, averaging 1. 4 INTs per game, would give us more short fields and scoring opportunities. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could be a spark for our defense, elevating our entire team's confidence and performance. Imagine a secondary with James and Bates covering the deep routes, while our pass rush gets more aggressive with increased blitzes. Our opponents would think twice before throwing deep, knowing that James is lurking back there, ready to make a game-changing play. It's exactly what we need to compete with the NFC South's top teams like the Saints and the Panthers, especially with a quarterback like Carr leading New Orleans and the Panthers looking to rebuild with young guns. And if we're talking about playoff implications, adding James could be the X factor that pushes us into the postseason and makes us a serious threat. His ability to generate turnovers and disrupt the rhythm of offenses would be pivotal in tight games. We saw last year how crucial a safety like Earl Thomas was for the Ravens, and James could be that kind of difference maker for us. His impact on our defense's EPA, expected points added, could jump significantly by around 17%, which is huge in today's NFL where every point and every possession counts. Now, let's not forget the potential Super Bowl impact here. The odds for the Falcons to win the Super Bowl have been climbing, from plus 8,000 earlier in the season to around plus 4,500 now, according to Caesars. That's a clear indication that the betting markets see us as a team on the rise, especially if we make bold moves like this. With a secondary that can generate turnovers and a defense that can pressure the quarterback more consistently, we'd be building a team capable of making a deep playoff run. Plus, adding a player of James's caliber would send a message across the league that the Falcons are all in on contending now, not just dreaming about the future. And let's take a quick moment to reflect on the historical context. Similar trades in the past, like the Seahawks acquiring Jamal Adams in 2020, have shown how a versatile safety can transform a defense. Adams brought over 170 tackles that season and changed how offenses approached Seattle's secondary. James, with his combination of coverage ability and pass rushing skills, could have a similar impact for Atlanta. His addition would not only bolster our pass defense but also improve our run support, making us more balanced and tough to beat on all fronts. Of course, there are skeptics. Some believe that giving up a first-round pick for a player with injury concerns might be risky. But in the NFL, you have to take calculated risks if you want to reach the top. The Falcons, with their young core and a talented roster, could be on the cusp of something special. Bringing in James would send a clear message. We're here to contend, and we're willing to make bold moves to get there. It's about building a defense that can carry us through the playoffs, especially against tough opponents like the Saints, where limiting Carr and his weapons will be key. In conclusion, this potential trade could pivot the Falcons into a new era of defensive excellence. A versatile, ball-hawking safety like Derwin James would not only elevate our defense, but also boost our confidence and swagger heading into the final stretch of the season and into next year. We've seen what a difference a player like this can make. It's about adding that missing piece, that X factor that turns good teams into Super Bowl contenders. Whether or not this deal materializes, it's exciting to think about the possibilities. The Falcons have always been a team with a tough, gritty identity, and adding a player of James's caliber would only strengthen that attitude as we aim for our second Lombardi trophy. Stay tuned, Falcons fans, because the offseason just got a lot more interesting, and the future looks bright with bold moves like this on the horizon. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. Do you think this trade makes sense? Are you excited about the possibility of adding Derwin James to our defense? I know I am. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates and analysis, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. We're on the verge of a new chapter, and this could be the move that propels us into serious Super Bowl contention. Let's keep the passion alive and keep dreaming big, Falcons Nation.